talk about how I got my start. Alright, so I haven't really covered this definitely on my podcast yet, but I just wanted to go over, just kind of tell you guys how I got my start in the entertainment business, because it's a very different entry into it. So I moved to LA when I was 17, turning 18 years old. I moved to LA for music. I grew up in Tennessee and Missouri, and knew that if I was going to do anything in the creative realm, I was going to have to move to a city that had a bigger art outlet, like Los Angeles. So moved out here. I worked in a steel mill for years, and it's like right close to the California Speedway. Worked there for a long time. I was doing music at night, trying to make something happen with that. It was not paying the bills, number one. So I had a moment one day, and I was on my way to work. It's probably 6:37 in the morning, and it's an iconic moment in my life that will always stand out to me, because it was a major change in my heart, in my mind, my direction, what I saw, my future, everything. So I was driving to work. I got this overwhelming feeling like, just start being grateful for the things that you have. And I didn't have a lot. It was like I said, I was working in a steel mill. I was renting a room. I had roommates. My music wasn't working, so I was bummed about that. And I don't know, I just started thanking God for the small things. You know, a roof over my head, the fact that I could afford to buy lunch, that I could do all these things. And I knew I had a lot of creative stuff inside of me, but I just didn't know where I fit and where my place was. So that mentality, when I switched from being bitter and questioning why I was here and all of those things that I think we all face, and once I made that decision in my mind, it was wild how many doors started opening and things started changing. So after that happened, I would go back and forth to LA. I had some friends and things like that I would go out and see. And I was at the Ralph's grocery store on a Saturday night, and I love their soup. They have like this amazing soup they make at their deli. So I was in there getting that, was buying some beer, and a woman came up to me and asked me if I had ever thought about acting or modeling or anything like that. And honestly, I thought it was like one of those crazy LA stories that you hear, just people trying to scam you or whatever it is. But what I ended up doing is, she was asking, no, I have a client I think would really be interested in you. Can I take some pictures or whatever? And I just was like, this is so weird, but yeah, whatever. I mean, I already had most of my tattoos. The last thing I was thinking about doing was modeling, because in my heart I'm like, oh, I'm a musician, and you know, whatever you think of yourself, which is usually wrong. So anyways, she said, hey, you know, would you be available tomorrow? Because I would really like for you to meet the client. So I went and met the client. Strangely enough, my first client ever was Levi's jeans. So my name, then that, totally tripped me out. So I ended up shooting their spring campaign. And then I went, they flew me to New York. I shot their New York fall campaign. In between that time, I walked for them at a runway show in San Francisco. And then Levi's was just booking me. I didn't even have an agent or anything like that. And I was like, they came to me and were like, hey, do you like doing this? And I was like, well, yeah, it beats working in a steel mill. And at the same time, my work is asking questions like why I'm taking all these absences all of a sudden, because I never missed a day of work. I ended up having to be honest with them and telling them, luckily I had a really good reputation with them because I've been with them for so many years, that they understood. But they're like, look, you got to make a choice. My boss is like, you either chase this dream or you can't keep missing work the way you're missing work. So what I was doing was I was driving to auditions that I was getting called for out in LA. So whenever I was working with Levi's, they were the ones that asked me if I liked doing what I was doing. So they said, we want to hook you up with somebody that we work with a lot and we think you'd be great with. I then met with my manager, agent now, at LA Models. I've been there for 15 years, which is insane. We've been working together that long. Anyways, the whole point of telling this is, I know everybody always says, oh, chase your dreams or find something you love. You'll never work a day in your life or whatever. But like, let's be real. It is so important to keep an open, positive mindset on things because you can be in the worst state, horrible situations, everything. But positive thinking, I really believe, can bring you out of holes and open doors, because there's no way you can be in that mindset and be down on yourself and depressed and all these things and have good things come out of it. It just doesn't work that way. You have to be positive and grateful, and it goes a long way. So then once I got in the entertainment business and then I started booking print jobs, I was doing like print modeling jobs, things like that. I just took my work ethic from working construction, because I mean, even before the steel mill, I was digging ditches for a telecommunication company in San Bernardino. So taking that mindset of showing up, 6:30 in the morning, 6:45 in the morning on the yard, ready to hop in a truck and go to work and work all day in the hot sun. Once I started doing modeling jobs and stuff, I was like, this is a cakewalk. And physically it is, mentally over time, dealing with the rejection side of things, because you pretty much audition for a job almost every day of your life. Everything is an audition. You constantly have people critiquing you, but then you never even know anything. So like, for example, whenever I audition for a job, the client, they never tell me what I did wrong in the audition. They never tell me why I didn't get the job. They never tell me any of that. I go give it my best, and I never know. It's just a constant state of rejection. And you'll get, if you're lucky, if you get maybe 2 out of 10 of the auditions, that's considered a pretty good track record, especially since everything is self-tape now. That was a whole other curveball that happened during COVID, was everything went to self-tape auditions. So we have to record them ourselves and then send them to the client per what they're requesting. I've always done way better in the room. I know I have kind of like a rough shell to look at, but I like to think I'm personable. So that is where I always would win clients over in the room, and that's been taken away because they never went back to it after COVID. It's all a learning curve, figuring out the right way to, like, what you're supposed to do. So keep an open mind and being grateful. Start your day with 5 things you're grateful for. I was at rock bottom and really disappointed at where my life was. It has not been an easy road, not one I'd recommend, but I'm just saying this to encourage you. Keep a positive attitude. It's as simple as that, but it's actually really hard to stick to and to do, especially when you're down. So I hope that helped you, and it gives you a better understanding of my background and my roots that got me to where I am now. And I am grateful every day. It's been 15 years and I still wake up very, very grateful. And I have my down days, I have my rough days, but I'm very grateful. So God's good and prayers are heard, and keeping a good outlook on things will take you where you want to go. I'll see you guys next week.